สบายดี Welcome to SungKhom Lao podcast คนหน่อยชื่อบีวิสาเทพ and คนหน่อยก็มีguest มาเคยเป็น former podcaster อยู่ SungKhom Lao อันนี้Amy Chomthakham
สบายดี
Dao Malaythong
สบายดี
สบายดี and happy Lunar New Year เนาะ
Happy Lunar New Year to everyone.
Yes, so the reason why we're here today because we wanted to talk to you about what's going on this month, and we have your foundation called the AAA, Advancing Asian America. But before we do get into that, I wanted to talk about how's everything going so far. I know we are just finished up with January, and we're now in February.
That's
so how's
right.
everything's been going so far? We'll start with you first.
Everything is going well. So glad to be back at our home and passing the torch. It's been really busy. Really can't believe January just flew by. But this month is really a lot of events, a lot of things going on. But it's been good.
Well, I'm glad January was flew by for you, but mine was a long January, 31 days. So I'm glad we are in February. We are ready to celebrate the Lunar New Year. January was cold, freezing.
Yes.
And on top of that, of course we celebrated the New Year. And for business-wise, the real estate is picking up, and as you know, I do real estate.
Yes.
About that, sorry. But we are so happy to be here as the first video podcast for SungKhom Lao.
It is the first, so we will, try our best, right? So it's going to be live, and hopefully we can continue to have you all see our faces and who's our guests are, what we're going to be talking about, because I think with just hearing our voice, you get to see our facial expressions and how we try to get this all out for you. So we're going to go with the Advancing Asian American Foundation. So it was created by 3 co-founders. I think Dao, Amy, and Jimmy
Gao Kong Si.
Yeah, Jimmy Gao Kong Si. So can you tell me how it all started and what was your purpose in creating this foundation?
Would you like to take that?
Okay, so it was back in 2020 during COVID times, right? And the Asian hate was at the highest at that time. And our community was very concerned, especially our elders, concerned of, what happened. They were afraid to step out, in the street because they would be, get name calls and afraid, people would, basically just run them down. And as a community, community leaders, Amy and I, we had meetings with the elders in the community addressing the concerns. So we had the workshop with local enforcement, with expertise in the community to find resources to help us. What are the ways to help protect our people, our Asian Americans that was being targeted at the time. And not having the voice is our challenge. And by coming together, united, having one voice, that's, was how it started. And then that's why we thought, if we don't get involved in politics, how are we going to be heard, right, Amy? And then you have a lot of experience from being involved in politics. So, explain a little bit about what you have done and then how we became about the advancing.
Right, because without knowledge, you won't be able to help teach or educate, especially most of our elders, they still don't speak English or they don't even comprehend it. So we need people like you in this foundation to be able to help educate and provide the resources for that. So please tell us how you get into that.
Well, really, my background as far as politics or volunteering in politic arena is concerned, it started back in high school. I was knocking doors. I was passing out flyers. Was when I was like in either 11th or 12th grade. It started, and so ever since then, I had always been doing volunteering in the background. Many of my friends didn't even know that I was really involved in politics in certain area because it wasn't something that our community really talked about. I was always involved volunteering in like the mayor's races and things like that. So in 2020, when Asian hate happened and we had this big rally in Atlanta, I was really surprised that our community turned up. And when I say our community, Asian community as a whole, but yet the Laotian community, we had a lot of people that showed up, and there were a lot of young generation that showed up. And you know how we had the two flags, Chung Zhang Samhua and
Right.
the New Lao flag, right? So the young generation actually took both of the flags there to satisfy both, side of our community. And being that I was the eldest that was there, I was questioned by both sides why both of the flags. And actually, it wasn't just both of the flag. There were a third flag that was combined that people didn't even see. They combined the both of the flag, and one of them was holding it. I said, you know what? If we could have just had that one, we would have been questioned as well.
Right.
But that's how it all started. So really, when we looked into advancing Asian American, we were thinking, we need a seat at the table. Not that we in particular want to run for an office, but we want to be able to provide the resources for the person that's interested in
Right,
running.
so kind of be someone kind of know what's happening on the inside and be able to present that to your community so that way we know what's going on and how we can
Exactly.
help, what the community can do to also participate.
Right.
Mhm.
We want Asian American representation.
That's right.
Okay, so then that's when I first saw Miss Supha Sapasit Mays,
Arkansas, right?
Right.
Yeah.
She was running. She was the first Asian American woman running for the governor of Arkansas back in 2022, and she was just going around town to raise awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And I commended her. I congratulate her, and we started connecting. And we invited her over to Georgia, because we wanted to promote Lao Sister,
That's
correct? And at that point, we did a meet and greet, and that's kind of how we started the the New Year celebration event,
Right.
because we did the meet and greet and introduce her with the celebration of the Lunar New Year,
That's right.
and then it became an annual celebration for us.
Right, and it's something that people do look forward to going to as well.
Mm-hmm.
This is our third annual.
Yes. So I know last year the name when you first started, it was AAA PAC, and now it's to just AAA Foundation. What is the reasoning of the name change, and what pursued to make this change?
Well, when we started the PAC, it was like a super PAC where, it would have taken a lot more
Right.
from us really to be at that level. Because we have been involved in nonprofit for so long, over 20 years, we have been doing community service. So to switch the hat for us was kind of hard because there were people that were still reaching out to us in terms of nonprofit wise. So when we thought about what we have done for the community and what we're doing in terms of politics, we're like, there are some restrictions as far as the PAC was concerned, as far as what we can do for the community. So when we talked about it, that's how we changed to or we're changing to foundation so that we can still provide both.
Right. Be able to try both and do more.
Yes,
Right. Okay.
So PAC stands for Political Action Committee,
that's right.
right? So so being a PAC, you really have to be so involved, so educated in politics and going out there, pounding the pavement, especially with 2024 being the election years. And myself and Amy and Jimmy Kelkongsi as founders, we all have our own careers, and this would take a full-time commitment. So we would not be able to commit to the PAC. And that's why we pivot to a foundation. A foundation is a self-funded organization where we have philanthropists, people who have money, anyone who has money and would love to donate to our cause. Because of what we're doing, we are we're doing community outreach, educating them about the political process, about registering to vote, get your voice be heard, learning about candidates who's running in your local area, and also with the presidential election as well. And with the foundation, we are able to do other activities besides just politics, like mentorship, leadership, business, things like that, right, Amy? So it's going to be something exciting, and because our background is nonprofit, so we have been at the grassroots for over 20 years, and
so now we will be able to combine what we have done into what we are looking forward to doing as far as the politics arena is concerned.
Right. So with your mission, what is your process? Let's say if someone was wanting to seek help from AAA Foundation, what's all that they would have to go through? What is the process, and how can they benefit from that?
Well, let's just give you an example of what we have done locally. Last year, Georgia had the first Asian caucus, and some of the elected officials we have actually helped when they were campaigning. So in terms of helping with that, not only did we help the Georgia Asian community, but we have helped other people who ran in other states as well, in terms of funding and in terms of other resources that we have helped with. So if they were to contact us and say, I'm running for a seat, can you help? So we'll ask what exactly is it that they need help with. It may be in terms of volunteering, people who would go out there knocking on doors or things like that.
Okay.
So connections, making connections with other elected officials, we're able to help. And again, we are bipartisan, right? And if you're running, as a Republican or liberal, Democrats, things like that, we're still going to be supporting. Of course, we would love to have Laotian American running for office, right? That would be, one day.
We have interviewed the two Laotian mayors that we have interviewed with SungKhom Lao.
Right.
And then now, like we said,
it'd be nice to have someone in Georgia. I mean,
right.
Don't get me wrong, I thought about it a couple times. But for someone to get into politics, it's just going to take a lot of time and energy. And sometimes I do feel like, is that something that our Lao community needs? Is that what they want? And who is willing to step up? Who out there is willing to step up in the Lao community to do something to make a difference? Or will you continue to keep your head down, as our ancestors have told us to continue to living on our life? So let me ask you, do you think someone will come out of the shell and step up and do something and be a part of the politician or in the Lao community in Georgia?
In Georgia in particular, don't know for certain, but we're hopeful, right? Based on the 2 interviews that we have done for the 2 mayors up in New England, I'm really hopeful. As far as that one particular, I feel like he's really, educated. He's really ready to be in some kind of role other than a mayor.
Right.
So I think คนลาวเฮาเนาะลูกหลานเฮาหลายคนที่อยากแลนเป็นผู้ใดผู้หนึ่ง I'm hoping that someone will come out, right? So because really the example is SungKhom Lao podcast, for example. Adao and I have dreamt that, okay, we started something, we wanted to pass on to somebody. And here, ลูกสาวเฮาเป็นผู้ที่ step up, right? So we're hoping that, what we do for the community is making an impact.
Okay. So Amy, I not only we're hoping, but we are encouraging anyone who would like to run for office for whichever level that you want to be in, local, state, federal, okay?
Yeah,
so we are here to you provide resources, connection, and mentorship, and it takes a lot. It takes a lot to run for office, and if you have an interest, then we'll be able to guide you or find ways that
even before AAA there wasn't any support, any knowledge of what to do, and now we have this AAA foundation that can provide the support and education to be able to do so now.
Not only that, we're also providing resources for someone who's needing citizenship. So it starts from knowing what it takes to become involved, because you have to be able to okay, would my vote count? How do I do that? The first step is you have to be a citizen to vote, right? So we provide that as well.
That's good. So, and part of your mission, you wanted to help promote diversity. Where do you seek areas that still needs improvement?
Well, as far as politics is concerned, we are still really small in terms of Asian as a whole, serving the whole country, really. But when you narrow it down to state and local government, yes, Georgia had made a big progress as far as the number of seats that's being held by
especially in Gwinnett County.
Yeah, but we still have ways to go. So we're hoping, we're hoping that we're making enough impact, making even just getting people to be involved.
Right. Yeah. And then what are some prejudice, ethnic and culture differences that you still see hold through? I know that you are the inside person to be able to know how to guide people, but for being part of the inside, have you seen anything that still holds prejudice through ethnic and culture?
I think when it comes to diversity, there will always be, something there. But it's also how you look at it too. You have to get to know a person individually, right? You can't classify as a whole. Let's say if you wanted to run for a seat in Gwinnett County, for example, we are the largest Asian population in the whole state, right, Gwinnett County. So when you walk into the courthouse, for example, do you know anyone there? Do you know the elected official there? So it starts with getting to know someone. But when you talk about diversity, you have to look in the mirror. Do you see anyone there that you would like to see? Right? So that's how the impact.
So you have to do a lot of networking. So what are some places where people can go, and let's say they wanted to start, and like you said, we have to get to know some of these people. Where can they go to start? I know we can attend to AAA Foundation's events. Where are other places where people can go and start, getting themselves known and being noticed, and start recognizing these other people?
Well, B, when you're talking about how do we get to know one another as Asian as a whole. We still don't understand about culture and language of each of the ethnic group. And by attending events like the Lunar New Year, the Lao New Year coming up as well, and with the 3A Foundation, the event that we're doing, the celebration on February 17th in Norcross at Happy Valley Restaurant. Okay. And by the way, it's all booked already.
I saw it.
We are providing
Sold out, right?
Yeah. Well, we didn't sell the seat.
Right.
It's a complimentary dinner for 200 people.
Packed.
Yes.
Yeah, it was first come first serve, and it's open to the public. The reason we're open to the public is because we want people to experience the culture, and we want and it's not just about Lunar New Year. It's about the celebration of people getting together, and we and from the look of the list, the guest list, we have all kinds of names.
That's
so
right.
we are very, very proud that
That's diversity that we're bringing together.
Bringing the community together.
That's good, because I think I went last year and I did learn a lot. It was a very passionate moment listening to the guest speakers, and it does open up your eyes, especially someone from like me who's not really into politics, but I'm always trying to knowledge myself about it, because I feel like I do need to know these things, because I have a child now. So I need to know what's going on in the world, and it opened up my eyes, want me to do more. So I'm really grateful and thankful to have my two sisters here to help with this community here in Georgia.
Well, this year we're doing the event a little bit different. There won't be a speaker who will be actually speaking, but we're inviting them to be a part of networking, them getting to know the people that are there.
Okay.
Correct. So what is it? The theme is philanthropy meets fashion.
That's
Ooh.
right.
So yes.
I think I know where the fashion came from.
Yes, because the connection of Jimmy Gyalgong with his high-end
Yes, he's doing a lot
shopping.
too to promote, Lao culture and ethnicity too. He's going out there, and he's also doing what is best for our community as well.
That's right.
Of course.
So, and I just want to say thank you so much for being here today. Is there anything else you would like to tell everyone?
Well, actually, before we
Yes.
go, we just want to say thank you so much to Georgia Asian Times for providing this platform for the SungKhom Lao to be heard, to be out there. Eventually, we will be doing you proud and bring you to a national level or even worldwide, back to Laos, who actually, they do listen to us, believe it or not. We have people that say, we listen to what you guys are saying in Laos. We,
They
tell us to do speak, Laos. But it makes it a little bit difficult, because we have the younger generation that does not speak Lao, or some of them do understand a little bit, but when they do hear our podcast, and if we start speaking too much Lao, they will just shut it off, or if we speak too much English, vice versa. So I don't know, we're going to tweak a little bit on that.
Yeah, so we'll
do
definitely
something.
figure it out where, both parties can hear at the same time. So we will definitely think about that.
But we are proud that you have stepped up and filled the shoes.
Thank you. Doing my best. I'm really, it's really something that I actually passionate doing, and it's something that I can be able to benefit off of, as well as because of all this knowledge and help me do all this research. I'm actually learning more as I'm doing this. So thank you everyone for tuning into SungKhom Lao.
Thank you.
Yes. So don't forget to subscribe to sungkhomlao99@gmail.com. We do have our Facebook group now, SungKhom Lao Podcast Facebook group. So if you want to be a part of it, you can follow me and I'll send you the link, or you can just search for us at SungKhomLao, SungKhom Lao. So don't forget, we also have our AAPI Summit coming up in May. So we will have invitation out onto our page, so you can be sure to join us on May 4th. We do have a Laotian guest that will be there with us that whole weekend. We also have our 25 most influential Asian American here in Georgia, so don't forget to cast your nomination by April. So thank you so much, and khop chai lalai.